All right, solving a quadratic equation. So first thing that you need to know is, what is a quadratic equation? Well, we know the word equation has an equal sign, right? You see it in the word equate. And quadratic means that you're going to see a square, okay? When you think of quad, think of 4, think of maybe making a square or a rectangle. So we see this one right here, x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. That is a quadratic equation. And here are the steps for solving a quadratic equation. Step 1, you must set it equal to 0. Okay, the example on the left is already set equal to 0. If it's not, you need to get it equal to 0. The way that I'm going to remember that is I'm going to put a smiley face inside of my 0. Step 2, factor completely. Okay, you need to take that polynomial on the left and you need to factor it completely. Once it's factored completely, step 3, you set every factor equal to 0. And then step 4 is solve all linear equations. Okay, so when you set those factors equal to 0, it's going to be a linear equation. Linear equation means that you're going to have an exponent of 1. You're not going to have an exponent of 2. So let's see it in this example right here. Here is my quadratic equation, right? I know that I have an equal sign, so it is an equation. And it's quadratic because I have a square. All right. Step 1, is it equal to 0? Yes, it is equal to 0. And I'm going to put a little smiley face in there to know that I can move on to my next step. Step 2, factor completely. Well, this is an easy one. So I put my 2 factors. I'm going to fill in my 4 green blanks. The first 2 will be x and x. The last 2 will be 5 and 1, plus and plus. Okay, now if you don't know how to factor, then you need to go back and learn how to factor before you really can start working on this. You can watch the video, but you need to understand how to factor, because this is not always going to be the same. How to factor it takes some practice. Okay, let's continue with quadratic equation. Step 3, set every factor equal to 0. Now, for this case, if this thing is 0, right, 0 times anything is 0. Well, what if this one's 0? 0 times anything is 0. So either one of your factors could be 0. So we set them both equal to 0. X plus 5 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. And now I have 2 linear equations. Okay, this one's linear, this one's linear. I know they're linear because my exponent is a 1, not a 2. And now to solve a linear equation, we get the grumpy old x all by herself, right? So I need to get rid of a plus 5. How do I get rid of a plus 5? Minus 5 on both sides. So x equals negative 5. That is one of my answers. Over on this linear equation, right? How do I get rid of a plus 1? Well, I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. These cancel out. And x equals 0 minus 1 is negative 1. This is my other answer. When you put them into the computer, you're going to separate them by a comma. And it doesn't matter which one goes first. That's your answer.